In this video, I'm going to be talking about makeup products that in my opinion are not worth the hype. So if you want to see what products have made it onto that list, then keep on watching. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Bettina and I'm the makeup enthusiast, and if you're new around here, make sure you click the subscribe button down below before we get into the video so you can keep up to date on Everyday April, where I release a video every single day in April. So without further ado, let's get into the video and talk about makeup products that I personally don't think are worth the hype. Quick disclaimer before we get into the video, I'm not trying to offend any of you. I know by all means probably some of you will have these products as some of your most favorite items in your collection, but just personally for me, they don't really work for some reason or another, which I will explain throughout the video. Starting off with a product that I don't have anymore, and it is the Bite Beauty Agave Lip Mask. Now, this just didn't work for me. I found this product was really thick. The packaging on this product is horrendous. It is so horrendous. The product is so thick that it is extremely hard to get out of the foil tube that they have it in. I just think it's a terrible design for the packaging for this type of product, and it just didn't work for me. It was too thick. I found that it didn't sink in and moisturize my lips. It just sat on the top of my lips, and a lot of the times I woke up in the morning with drier lips than I had when I went to bed. The next product on my list is the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powders. Now, this just doesn't work for me because I have a really oily complexion. They do work all right for me under the eyes, or they look really nice on my skin when I'm filming, but for an everyday powder product, they are really bad on my skin. They really don't make my makeup last very well. I find these show oil really easily and don't make my makeup last very well. But I think if you have dry skin, these powders would definitely be amazing for you. Just for me, having oily skin, they don't work. Next is an item that has been really hyped recently, and it is the Fenty Foundation. Now, first of all, this color is not the best color match for me. It is really light, which I never thought I would say about a foundation, but it is too light for me, and I just don't like the consistency of this foundation. I find it doesn't really blend very well on my skin, and similar to the Marc Jacobs Remarkable foundation, I just find it looks really cakey on my skin, and it just doesn't really blend and mesh well into my skin. It kind of just sits on top and looks really cakey. So this one doesn't work for me. I have really oily skin, so I was surprised that this one didn't work for me. I just didn't like the way it looked. It looked like I was wearing a mask rather than my foundation looking nice and blending nice with my skin. Next are extremely hyped up products thanks to Jaclyn Hill, and I have 4 of them, but they just don't really work for me, and they are the Becca highlighting. So these are the Shimmery Skin Perfectors. I have 4 of them. I have Moonstone, Opal, Champagne Pop, and Rose Gold. First of all, Champagne Pop and Rose Gold are a little bit too dark for me, so those are already kind of fails. Moonstone, color-wise for my pale skin, which is this one here, would be the best color for me, but I just find that these don't really blend well with my skin. They tend to sit on top of my skin and emphasize texture. They look nice on camera. I'm not wearing it today, but they do look nice on camera, but up close and personal they just seem to emphasize texture and sit on my skin, and they are more glittery in my opinion than like a nice sheen, as opposed to this one that I'm wearing today is a nice sheen. It gives me that wet skin look, whereas these in my opinion just don't seem to blend well with my skin. Unfortunately, these ones aren't a real win for me, and I don't reach for these very much at all these days. Next are 2 products that I have tried but I don't have them anymore. First is the Too Faced Better Than Sex Mascara, and the second one is the Benefit They're Real Mascara. I don't like these items both for the same reason. They make my lashes look really nice, but they just don't seem to last on my lashes. They tend to flake down and really irritate my eyes. These are 2 mascaras that really irritate my eyes really badly, and I find by the end of the day I'm like rubbing my eyes like crazy because they've been so irritated by something in these mascaras. They definitely do make your lashes look nice, but I can't get any longevity out of them because they tend to start flaking and upsetting my eyes. Next is one that I still have but not in its original packaging. So the Laura Mercier loose setting powder. I actually decanted it into this Coty Airspun packaging that I had lying around in my collection. I decanted this because the Laura Mercier translucent loose setting powder has the worst packaging on the planet for a powder. The jar and pot tend to crack really easily, and I was getting like the rim around where the thread is for the bottom of the container was starting to flake off and break off. So I thought, it's time, like I need to decant this before I end up getting like plastic shards in my powder, which no one wants. So I decanted it into this packaging here. So that is the number one reason why I think this product is not worth the hype. I think it has huge flaws when it comes to the packaging and how the packaging lasts. It just tends to break down over time. Secondly is, I don't think this is the best powder for oily skin people. Once again, this is a powder that looks really nice for short periods of time. It looks really nice on your skin if you're filming or taking photos or anything like that. It does tend to give you that like nice flawless look. But if you're wanting a powder for longevity, this is not gonna do it. It is a setting powder, it's not a finishing powder, so I do expect setting powders to help make my makeup last longer, but unfortunately that one doesn't do it for me. The Huda Beauty liquid lipsticks. Now these liquid lipsticks are just way too dry for my lips. They dry down super quickly and they dry down quite matte, so these ones, this one here did not work for me, unfortunately. If you have really dry lips like I do, I would recommend you staying away from the Huda Beauty liquid mattes. If you can handle an extremely matte formula, check it out. You might like it. Along the lines of the Huda Beauty liquid lipsticks is the Kat Von D Everlasting liquid lipsticks. Now this range has beautiful colors. It has an amazing range of colors for liquid lipsticks, but once again it just dries down too much for my liking. My lips just can't handle the dryness and it just kind of sucks the living daylights out of my lips. Next are the Colourpop Super Shock shadows. Now don't get me wrong, these guys are beautiful. They have a fantastic formula. I just don't reach for them, and I don't like the packaging design. I don't like the product design. I wish that these could come in a palette, but I know if they did, it would kind of be a fail because they can tend to dry out pretty quickly if you have them exposed to air. So for that reason, I think these are not worth the hype because I just don't get a lot of use out of them because of the way they are designed. I just don't really like reaching for singles. I rather have a palette open that I can use for a whole cohesive look rather than dipping into singles. On that note, I'm not the biggest fan of the formula either. I don't know, for me it just never seems to perform all that well. I don't know whether it's the fact that I haven't found the right brush to use it with, but the whole concept of the Colourpop Super Shock shadows, it's just more work than I can care to give or provide to a eyeshadow product. Next is the Cover FX Custom Enhancer Drops. So these are the illuminating drops. These look terrible on my skin in my opinion. They look really patchy and chunky on your skin when you try and like blend them in with a sponge or anything. They just kind of sit there in chunks on your cheekbones. So yeah, I think these are a total fail. This is gonna probably be something that I might try and use as an under base, like all over thing, to try and use up this little sample, and maybe I might enjoy it that way. But as just like a cheekbone highlighter, I think these are a total fail. When it comes to cream or liquid highlighters, this one is really down there on the list of products that I would recommend for you. Next we have the Urban Decay Primer Potion. Now this is an extremely hyped up product. I just find it doesn't really work for me. I've tried these samples over and over again, these sample cards, to try and find a way that I enjoy using these. I just feel like this makes my makeup look really patchy. My eyelids, like in this area here when I set it with my face powder, it makes it look really aged and patchy and blotchy. I don't enjoy these at all. I think that they don't work for me. I much rather, even my MAC paint pot is giving me a better result. I much rather the Too Faced Shadow Insurance or even the glitter glue than these Urban Decay primer potions. Product on my list is a very expensive product, and I actually used it as my palette for my 1 month 1 palette series last month, and it is the Natasha Denona Star Palette. Don't get me wrong, this is a beautiful palette and I certainly got some beautiful looks out of it. I just don't think it's worth the hype or the price tag. This bad boy here is worth $245 Australian, and I don't think it's worth $245 for an 18 pan eyeshadow palette. I think that price tag is absolutely ridiculous, and I am still desperately trying to understand the hype behind Natasha Denona eyeshadows, because this palette, in my opinion, is really not worth the Natasha Denona price tag. I'm still trying to understand the hype. And the last product on my list is the Nars Orgasm blush. Now, this is a OG beauty community blush product that was hyped up like you wouldn't believe. It is one of the most famous probably NARS products, and I just don't really understand the hype. I used up a mini of this product in my project pan at the start of this year. It took me nearly 18 months to use up that product, and I still have a full size of the product. NARS are beating a dead horse with this product. They continue to release orgasm collection after orgasm collection, and they'll release this in a jumbo size, they'll release it in a lip gloss, in a lip balm, in a lipstick. I don't know where they're gonna go next. I don't know, maybe a mascara, who knows, a brow product in orgasm form. It's just ridiculous. I just wish NARS would be a little bit more original and stop beating this dead horse right here that is the Nars Orgasm, because this is a overdone product. It is a product that has died with the times, and I think they really need to get over it and try and find something original and release that. So those are all the hyped up makeup products that I don't think deserve the hype that they get. Let me know down in the comments box what products that you don't think are worth the hype that they get here on YouTube. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up if you liked it. Also click the subscribe button down below so you can keep up to date on everyday April. That's it for this video, everyone. I hope you're having a fantastic day, and I will see you in tomorrow's episode. Goodbye.